Hello, people. What am I snacking on? Well, I'm starting with the red vines, although I do have to say that these red vines are not as good as the Whole Foods fake healthy red vines that they have. Those ones are better because they're like drier and trashier. These are like trying too hard to be good candy, you know? Like the other ones are tasteless and weird, but in like an oddly compelling way. In fact, I don't really like these. We might have to move on to the peanut butter M&Ms or the Australian licorice. Better enjoy the Australian licorice before world trade breaks down and we can no longer get it, which probably happens 6 weeks from now. What flavor does it look like? You mean the Whole Foods red vines? They're like more pink than this. They're like still kind of red, but they're kind of dry pink. It's weird. Okay. I was working on a little bug on my laptop. It was a code generation bug that was kind of serious, and I can just repro it here. Good thing my hoax compiler, oh, we don't even need this actually. Good thing my hoax compiler is so good at being a hoax. All right. Do we use Discord or Slack for work? Well, we use both of those for slightly different things. And to be honest, neither is super good. Do people still actually believe that hoax shit? I mean, I just read today. Oh, God, this licorice is sticky. I guess that means it heated up and sweated out or something. I just read some incredibly bullshit thread today about Casey on Hacker News by people who clearly don't understand computers very well. So, I mean, I'm sure these rumors abound everywhere. That licorice is kind of gross too. Maybe the red vines are making it taste gross. Now that I've had the new car for a while, how do I like it? It's really nice, except for the time yesterday when I got into it and it wouldn't start because the computer was crashed. And then I had to search on the internet, what do you do to start your car? And the answer was lock the car for 5 minutes, unlock it, and the computer will have rebooted. So I tried locking the car for 5 minutes, but I was sitting in the car, and after 2 minutes, the alarm went off because I was sitting in the car. So then I got out of it, locked it, stood around in the parking garage reading websites for 5 minutes, and then unlocked it, and then I was able to drive away. Hacker News is down bad recently. I mean, it has seemed to be gradually worse for the whole time that I've been reading it. Like, I've been reading Hacker News at least since 2010. 2010 was when I went to the first Y Combinator demo day. Not the first one, but the first one that I went to. It's just been getting steadily worse the whole time. Yeah, now it's embarrassing, but I think Hacker News has been embarrassing for a long time, honestly. What did Casey do? He made a free lecture video where he gave a speech. And then, of course, everybody in Hacker News has to say how they know better than him and his speech is wrong and the things they know, even though they're probably still in fucking undergraduate, are more than what Casey knows. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and not to pick on Hacker News specifically, but like, this is sort of the whole internet that we've built now. Because the current internet is built on some kind of a system where it's like, we have to broadcast what everybody has to say to everybody else, right? That's what all these forums are. That's what Twitter is. That's what Facebook is. And like, the problem is that what some people say is just trash, right? And like, you can't have an internet, and that's true for a lot of people. Like, and you know, some people probably are very knowledgeable about some things and very bad on other things, right? And you just can't have like a global nervous system predicated on broadcasting trash everywhere. That just won't, everybody will go insane, right? So we need to figure out something better than that. And the thing is, especially for people who work hard on things where they get very little societal reward for. Like, dude, I've been working on this compiler for 7.5 years, and I've been paying a great deal of money to be able to work on it, right? And like, it just feels so fucking unappreciated sometimes, right? And so when Casey does a lecture video and then everybody on Hacker News uses it as some excuse for ego boosting themselves by looking down their nose at what he does and how it's so wrong, and how they, even though they've never done anything except be a useless do-nothing employee at Google for 6 months because they're just out of school, think that they're so much better, right? Like, it's just crazy making when we work so hard, right? And I'm not speaking for Casey here. I don't know exactly how he feels about that, but I'm speaking, that's how I feel when I look at something like that, right? So it's just hard. The average age of internet posters increases by less than 1 year per year. That's true. I mean, that's going to stop soon, though, because among the many problems that we have is that population growth is below replacement rate in almost all developed countries. So that's going to stop unless you're like in China or India or Indonesia. Anyway, Chinese birth rates are super low too. Yeah, but that's kind of their fault. Well, who knows? Like, I mean, if they mandated 1 child per family, they could mandate 4 if they want. So, yeah, I think the more critical thing is that it's not even just at the average experience level of internet posters when it comes to programmers. I don't even think that's going up over time, because programming is a growing field and you get all these people coming in from the bottom age-wise. I think because the field is growing, the average experience level of internet posters is decreasing. Still. And that's rough. That's really rough. Guys, all my snacks taste kind of gross. Even the peanut butter M&Ms taste kind of weird. I wonder if I've got COVID now. But maybe it's the special COVID where you can still smell things, but things just taste weird. I definitely can still smell things, because yesterday I was in a cafe and someone walked in and it was like, oh my God. Okay. Anyway, if you see this here, our looping, is this debug compiler? Yeah. Our looping says the loop variable is v3, and we set it to the value of v1 up here. It's fine. We set v1 to 0 and then we copy it, and that's a wasted instruction, but that's how we initialize our loop variable. Now, if I take the address of it here, something bad happens. And now v3 is a pointer to a stack variable. And v2 is like the loop variable somehow. But you'll note v2 never gets initialized. We like test it, we add, it never gets initialized. So that is bullshit. Now I think the reason that happens is because for loop code generation maybe doesn't take this into account, I think maybe. I just want to take a look at it. What skills would I deem desirable in a new grad? Learn how to be at least a 1x programmer. I'm glad you appreciate the games. All right, we're going to set this up for this test case. It already is. Okay. So we're emitting a for loop. It is not a macro. Not even an array. We can go back and look at that in a bit, but it's not even an array. Okay. I think this is the problem. The reason it's a problem is I probably should be calling solidify or allocate. Okay, the problem is we have this address gets taken flag. And when that is set, we maybe need to be much more paranoid. This gets set here. So if I set this assertion, if I say, is it backend flags? We do that. Okay. Probably, it's not called backend flags. It is called declaration backend flags. So I wanted to be as verbose as possible, I guess. Ever thought of offering paid access to the compiler while in beta? Yes, we're going to do that eventually. It's just now is not quite the right time. Once we clear some projects off the plate, we will go to that. All right. There we go. We got a cowabunga, which means we detected that the address of this gets taken, but we're acting like it doesn't, and that sucks. Okay, so let's do wait, we called solidify and allocate on data decal. Does that mean we waste a register usually? Let's see. Let me just break at the cowabunga here, because I want to make sure that the type is set correctly on this declaration, which it should be. And if it is, then we don't need to do other weird stuff like we're doing. Like this might just be an artifact of old code. Okay, so Data decal inferred type. Okay, and then index register type. Same thing. So I think we change this code. And maybe -1 if we need to go to memory, right? Let's just cowabunga if that's -1. Okay. Ooh. Oh no, we did cowabunga, but then we barf later because we're not, like, I'm detecting it up here, but I haven't yet done the work down later. So we're trying to like jump to this register and it's -1. That's fine, actually. But we correctly are behaving and detecting this situation. And probably most other programs don't cause it, although this might happen in some of them and we just don't happen to detect it. Yeah, but most things are working fine. So it's good. In fact, literally everything passed, which explains why this bug was in there, because we just don't happen to do this, I guess. Okay, so we're going to go, we're going to cowabunga still. We're going to leave that. Okay, so index register. Ugh. This is such a pain in the butt. What we could do, just for the convenience of having an index, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Index register is new value data defin. Okay. So when we increment this, Oh, we have emit assignment. So we emit the assignment. We need to copy from register back to stack. Emit assignment L value placement. Data def and see, we're gonna need to do this for both. Ugh. Okay. What? This may not end up being any faster. Well, that didn't totally work. So let's just indicate that we did this for this code. We got lots of cowabunga 2s. Wait. That's weird. I feel like I'm doing this in cases where it shouldn't be. So, what happened to my first cowabunga? Did I delete it? What? I was looking for it. Okay. I kind of don't like this thing, that whole thing that I'm doing. Oh. The whole point of this was to change this to this. Okay. So, let's take a look now. 3 is the L value. 4 is our thing. Fuck, no. V2 still. Oh, because we don't initialize it. Emit assignment. Okay, so we're gonna looking for the left value. Emit assignment down here, yes, and then It's funny having something called left value. Which overload is this? This one. Type definition. The L value, which means left value, except it doesn't because left value is a different thing. Offset value number R value. This left value is the R value. Don't worry about it. Index register left value. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, so now we also assign this. Okay. So if I change this now back to calling F, maybe it works. Ta-da! That used to infinite loop. Okay, that's very good. Problem is, it doesn't work for everything. Let's just do this. Just T. Oh, that actually worked? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That actually worked. I thought there was something special about if it's signed. Hang on. What did we say? We said this was called need data decal value copying. What about indexes signed? Frick. It's a dude on the HN thread that really doesn't like Casey. I think that's also the dude that says Braid uses a lot of CPU for what it's doing. Lol. Get a drink. I'll be right back. Basically, like if people are not willing to say that stuff under their real name, then why is it even bothering to be printed, right? Like if people won't even, like, in order for conversation not to change to total trash all the time, right? People need to take the reputational hit for things that are nonsense, right? And if you just establish this norm that everybody is pseudonymous all the time, then nobody takes reputational hits for nonsense, and then all you get is nonsense, right? So like we have to figure this out. It is not a very healthy internet conversational norm that we have right now. I don't think you want to ban anonymity because you need anonymity for some things. You need anonymity for some things. It's not good for most things, right? It's just good for occasional, like, whistleblower kinds of things is where you need anonymity. You don't need it for like talking trash about other people. Most things don't need to be signed off on. Yes, they do. What I was just saying is that if most things are not signed off on, then most conversation becomes trash. That's just how it is. Either people sign their name to what they say, or most conversation is garbage. Like you can have one or the other of those. Yeah, exactly right. So human beings, like human brains, understand normal social discourse, right? They understand that if you walk up to somebody and be a dumbass, that person and the other people around who are watching will probably remember you if they see you again, right? And of course, all of these norms were developed, like the formation of the human brain happened back at a time where humans were in much smaller groups, so they were much more likely to see each other often, right? And so there's just ways that you won't say things to people, or people think a little bit extra about what they say, or they'll be a little bit more cautious. And none of that is true with anonymous internet gabbing, right? "20 years since the Mitmap article. Has there been any progress on that, or is box filtering still the way it's handled?" Here's the thing. I'm not actually sure. I do think people do higher quality upsampling sometimes on the GPU, but I also think that kind of nobody cares, because the thing is, once your texture resolutions get high enough, and once your frame buffer resolutions get high enough, like the difference between sampling methods becomes really small, right? Like way back when that was written, like textures were big and chunky, and like they would be many, many pixels wide on the screen. And then it probably mattered more. But now, it's kind of a rounding error. Also, I don't remember, I think I was talking about light linear bitmapping or not, right? But that's the main thing. Way more important than what filter kernel you use to downsample your texture is just whether you do it in linear light or not. And so it is common for people to downsample in linear light. In fact, it's incorrect to not do that. It's well understood, right? And so that is way bigger than the differences between different filter kernels. And I mean, the linear light thing kind of doesn't change with texture resolution. It does a little bit. Um, but the difference between filter kernels decreases with texture resolution. That protection to those people is more important than not being mean to celebs online. But okay, here, it's not about not being mean to celebs online. It's about people going insane or not. It's about people growing up in an environment that is mentally healthy versus one that is deeply mentally unhealthy, right? Now, of course, yes, in oppressive environments, which America may become soon, who knows, you need anonymity, right? But even if you need it for special situations, it should not be the norm, even in those societies, right? Because we'll just go insane. We're already kind of insane. It's obvious to anyone who looks. You never learned about the linear light in school? Well, depending on the way your class was taught, it might be that the texture data was already linear light. Maybe not. Maybe the teacher just didn't know. Everything did look dimmer. Well, I'm not that surprised. It took us a long time to figure that out in games. Like years. Years and years. And like the other thing is, so apart from people generally being able to inhabit a mentally healthy space or not, there's just the question of, do we figure our stuff out as human beings and like manage to do a good job with our resources and manage to discover the things we need to discover and manage to survive on this planet, right? And like, if our conversation spaces are all polluted, that's the chances of that happening are much lower because we need clarity and we need people who work hard to not be assailed constantly by dipshits, right? We need to not have this pervasive tall poppy syndrome that I used to think did not exist in America, but now exists more and more in America, right? Where you hate people that are successful for being successful. And or you have nothing to say about what they do except negative things, right? That's going to take us down. That's going to like end humanity, right? We need to not do it. So we need to take these problems very seriously, I think. It would help if popular, successful people wouldn't also constantly say stupid shit. That would help too. But the problem is nobody can agree on what's stupid shit or not. So have fun making that happen when nobody can agree on those things. Okay, so I've solved this problem. I kind of don't like it. I kind of don't like the current solution. It's like a lot of code. Okay, it's maybe not that. Okay, we only need to. Okay. Here's what I want to do, though. There's been this thing. There's been this thing the whole time where there's a weirdness. Like when you do a for loop over numeric arguments, we call that it, but not it index, right? But then that becomes the index when you're iterating over an array. And now here, it's like, I guess it's fine. I don't have to do anything drastic. Let me modify the thing I was just doing, though. So does OpenGL's bitmap generator do the linear light correction? Probably. I mean, it's up to your driver officially, right? But I think all drivers today do that. Wouldn't it be nice if you did 10 to 20 and it index was 0 to 10? I haven't thought about that, honestly. That's something to consider. Of course, we would want to make sure it doesn't cost anything if you don't use it index at all. Yeah, I need to think about that. I mean, it all depends. Like, do we be like Pascal and add a step value so you walk every 3 or who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's why you never learned about it in school. Yeah, maybe. Half the country still likes success. I mean, maybe. Maybe. That's not enough. Once 51% of people don't like success, it's over, man. And we're just about there. Okay, so instead of this variable, I'm going to have a different thing called if so we're just going to call this decal to make it short. We're going to leave that, and then change this We're going to keep our no check and explain. Let's see if I got everything. Nope. Whoops. Come on, man. Okay. So that's good. This one is weird because it seems like see, this one seems like it's down here. So how is that happening? Is assign small doing the right thing? Wait. Bro. Yeah, I'm not calling assign small here. But it's basically the same thing. Okay, I kind of don't. I already have frickin' data placement. What is going on? I kind of don't understand. Just trying to combine these together. I think I can just do this as well. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I deleted the C backend a really long time ago. Have you had to use automata a day in your life? The problem with that question is you're asking me about some hipster thing for 22-year-olds that I don't even know what that is. So the answer is no. Or do you mean like actual cellular automata like you would learn in school? Or do you mean like some web SaaS package? Oh, you're studying. Wait, you have an entire class about this? Why is there an entire class about this? State machines. Is automata the European name for state machines or something? NFA, DFA, subset construction. Yeah. By the way, all the stuff, it was the point in college where they started giving exercises about convert NFA to DFA when I stopped attending classes and decided it was fucking bullshit. You need to pass the class to graduate. Well, keep in mind you're kind of wasting your time and could use it more productively outside of school. Just saying. Just questioning if you ever need it? No. I mean, people use very basic state machines in programming sometimes, like, oh, I have an enum determining my state. If I'm in this state, run this code. If I'm in this state, run this code. And then when the timer expires, go to this state, right? But that's like very simple. You don't need any of that other stuff. You got a class on languages and grammar that has a lot of that. Yeah, but that stuff's completely useless for languages and grammar as well. It's like complete waste of your time to learn it. Unless you're interested in, you know, arbitrary formulations. You thought it was necessary for compiler stuff. That's because people are teaching you the wrong thing. It is absolutely not necessary for compiler stuff at all. Not at all in the least. In fact, not only is it not necessary, it's not a good way to do it. It's a terrible way to write a compiler. It's just a bunch of stuff that people came up with in the 60s and 70s when nobody had that much experience in computers. In hindsight, it's obviously mostly a waste of time. It's just because this is what we decided to teach, there's a lot of inertia behind it, right? But you don't need any of that stuff. It's necessary if you want to prove that a compiler works. No major compiler has a proof that it works. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, we are so far from being able to prove that a real compiler works, it's not even funny. So far. So far. I think it would be great if I could prove that my compiler worked, except the proof would say, no, it doesn't work. And I would be sad. But, you know, this should be here. I think. I think that's enough right there. Which is better. It's much less code to copy pasta. Copy pasta. That's the theoretical use case. I mean, I guess, I don't know. It was always taught to me as this is how you actually write a compiler, which is banana cakes. I learned that shit in school. The first several compilers or interpreters I wrote used Lex and Yak, and it was all trash. Just don't do it that way. Do not. You'll get much more done much faster. You'll be a much happier, productive person if you don't do it that way. Okay, so did I break our example? I hope not. There we go. Let's add another thing. Items. Okay, so for items f star it. Okay, it all works now. That is excellent. So now I just have to comment the things, and then I get to go to bed. theory that seems to actually matter is the theory that is rarely taught, like theory behind register allocation. That is also true, except, well, you do get taught register allocation. It's like way late in the class, though, and not much time is spent on it because so much time is spent on other things. And what is commonly taught about register allocation is also kind of bad because people don't get to focus on that kind of thing because all the time is taken up by nonsense. Okay, this is good news. This is good news. Now, it is nearing bedtime for me. We're going to go to our no check-in comments. Oh, it's in bytecode builder, I guess. Okay, this is fine. We did the other case. So we're just going to explain up here. Oh, I did that on it and not it index. We have to test it index. But let me first finish this comment. If the address of our iterator index gets taken, we need to make sure to poke the value through the pointer so that whoever holds the pointer sees it. Right now, we just do a dumb thing where we have a value in a register anyway, so we don't, in a value number, so we don't have to change around our code that increments iterators. Then we write that into the L value, which is represented by data placement every time we change it. That is maybe not great, and maybe it's cleaner just to modify our iterator reading and writing code or something. Not 0222. That's not what year it is. Okay. Let's go back to this. Not that. Let's go back to this and do that one I'm worried about. Boom. Look at those uninitialized trash variables. Okay. Boom. Assertion failed. All right. Because we don't initialize it initially. I guess we're also maybe not incrementing it. I thought we would with that other code, but no, because it doesn't go up either, which is weird. Okay, so because we don't set the variable. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, fuck. Data placement. That was regrettable. Okay. Shoot. Need to do all this up here. Oh boy, this could be a disaster. Dang it. I'm sure I forgot some stuff there. Oh yeah. Left value is not, this is not what we want to do. Is that the... Yeah. Index. Gotta get the index. Boom. Boom. Oh no. I ruined it. I ruined it. Index, right? Index. Yeah, I ruined it. Like, obviously. That's still not gonna. What is that? Why did that? All right. Hey, look at that. They all work. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay. Test regression, for loop, address, iterator address taken. Okay, let's rebuild the tests. Run them. Hope they all pass. Ba-boom, ba-boom, baboon, bada-bing. Bada-boom, bada-bing-boom, bam. That's not too bad. It only took us about an hour to fix this one. With 16 hours in a workday, you could have fixed 16 of these. I am manly man, except I look in the mirror a lot, so yeah. Okay, that's good. Check for no check-ins. There aren't any. Go to the change log. Fixed incorrect code generation in for loops when the address of the variable was taken. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, people have been working on the compiler. Wait, was that me or was it someone else? I thought we updated at the start of the stream, so it's oh, Ryan, move a bunch of bytecode instructions over the new structs. All right. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. Okay. Let me send an email to the person who reported this. Boom. That's only from 20 frickin' days ago. Dang it. All right, well, that now leaves the number of recent compiler bugs down to a mere 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus a comment. That That is a number that is solvable in possibly one day, except that maybe somebody emails a new one or two while I'm fixing them. Well, everybody, that might be it for the stream tonight. I just wanted to stream as a way of fixing the bugs and delivering the value. Look at how many values we have here. They're all fixed values. But, you know, there's 9 values listed here. Anyway, thanks everybody. And yeah, I'm probably going to go to bed, but we might do some gaming this weekend. There are multiple games. So firstly, we might try to find the Elven Ring. But also, we got this snail game. And we got LX2, which probably also has snails in it somewhere. And it's probably also bad, but we're going to give it a try. We're going to give it a try. Tunic over? Yeah, Tunic's over for us. Till Tunic 2 comes out. Or Tunic expansion pack. Dude. I try to click and ban people and I click the wrong thing and it's terrible. Which one has the heftiest beast bones? I don't know. I don't know. Do I think being a game developer makes me more cynical about gaming? No, I don't think so. I don't see a relation. All right, thanks everybody. See y'all later.